Hi everyone, this is Master Matt, and today I'm going to take you through another stretching routine. Hopefully you can use this to add to and mix up your existing stretches. If you've seen my videos in the past, I'm going to give you some other ideas that you can hopefully use to make your stretches different and try different things every day. But with that said, before you get started, make sure you have some kind of warm-up. Actually, I'm going to take you through just an example of how you can warm up before you stretch. I have a bar here. You can use a wall or a chair, just something to hold your balance. But we're just going to start with some leg swings. So I'm not trying to overextend or anything like that. All I'm trying to do is introduce some blood flow and oxygen into the muscles that I'm about to stretch. Okay, you can do things like this, just anything that's moving, but just not too much. If you're coming cold, as in having not done any kind of exercising for the day, I'm gonna go sideways, open up the groin and the hip a bit. Again, all I'm doing is trying to prepare my muscles to be stretched. I'll get a better stretch out of this. Very good. Okay, so we're gonna start in a horse stance. So I'm gonna open my legs, face my feet forward, and then I'm gonna sit back, not with my knees forward, on my hips backwards. I'm gonna put my hands on my knees, and I have to bend my back a little bit so that my hands can extend, but I don't want to overdo that. So I'm gonna try and keep my chest out, and all I'm gonna do is turn my body, pushing against my knee, and I should feel it in my back, and a little bit in my groin and my hip as well. Just getting a nice opening up the other side as we begin our stretches. Just make sure that elbow is locked and you're really pushing until you feel the pull in your back. Okay, very good. Now bring my feet close together. I'm just gonna rotate my knees a little bit, so put my hands on my knees and I'm gonna make little circles. Again, this is sort of like a warm-up. I'm just trying to introduce blood flow and prevent risk of injury as I start to use my legs for whatever I'm about to do with them after the stretch, if anything. Okay, next I'm gonna do my hips, open my legs a little bit wide again, take my hips and thrust them forward. I'm gonna try to keep my legs straight during this stretch. I'm just gonna rotate until I get to the back, and then I'm gonna come back around. What I really wanna feel is I'm going to the limits of my hips. So I should feel my hip sockets at their limits. So my hip joint is a ball in a socket. So I should feel that rolling. And I should really be opening that up right now. Rotating. Very good. Okay, next I'm gonna do a hamstring stretch. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put one leg to the side and then I'm gonna bend the back leg until I can get flat. And I wanna try and make sure my heel is flat to the ground if I can. And I'm gonna keep my butt off the ground. And I'm gonna put my foot out as far as it can go, toes up. And I'm gonna put one hand on each side of my leg. I can push against my knee here as I lean forward with my chest, trying to stretch this hamstring. I can push against the knee to stretch this groin at the same time. But again, we don't wanna be up like this because our angle for the hamstring is going to be off. So you want to try and flatten that foot as best you can. This is a hamstring as well as a groin stretch. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Again, opening and leaning forward. Trying to keep my neck straight. I want to focus on my chest being the point that I'm bringing towards my knee. Very good. All right, next stretch. I'm gonna sit with one leg over the other like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my opposite elbow and put it across this way. Okay, so I have my right knee over my left leg, which means my left hand needs to go over. And I should immediately feel in my outer hip. Okay, to increase the stretch, I can go ahead and grab my pants or my leg if I'm really flexible. And then I'll introduce a little bit of the hamstring into this as well. Just make sure you're breathing. Very good. And the opposite side. Pull it just past the knee. Plant my foot on the ground. Come across with the elbow. And I can reach and grab towards the leg. And just sit tight and let that stretch. Don't resist it. Let this leg relax and pull into the stretch. Very good. Next one is going to be another hip and hamstring stretch. I'm going to take one leg and I'm going to put it on the ground like this with my foot sideways, and I'm going to bring my hands over this way. So what I'm going to try and do is sit forward, almost as if I'm putting my knee on the ground, but I don't want to kneel forward. I'm going to try and keep this at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to bring my hips forward towards this. Okay, and that's going to put pressure on my hip as well as a little bit of the hamstring. Very good. You can't tell, the hip and the hamstring are very important muscles for us to use. That's why we stretch them so much. Okay, I'm trying to bring my chest towards that knee. Very good. And the other side, put my knee into the ground. Put my foot into the ground. And then slowly bring my knee downwards until I feel the stretch. If I can get my chest or my stomach all the way there, that's good. But if I can't, just go as far as you can. This is similar to the stretch that we can do when we're laying down and our foot or our opposite knee is pulling into this leg. Or you can use a wall as we had before. This is just another variation of that stretch. Very good. Next one is another hamstring stretch. We're going to lay on our backs and we're going to lift one leg as straight as we can get it. I'm just going to grab it around the calf because my hands are not as long as my leg. And I'm just going to pull. I prefer to do this with a band or a belt so I can wrap it around the foot to complete the stretch, but if you don't have something like that, this is a satisfactory alternative that you can do. Very good. And the other one, lifting my leg. Okay, our next stretch is going to be a butterfly stretch. So we're going to take our heels and bring them in towards our body. Bring our feet together. We can grab around the toes, hold them together, and we can start with a light bounce. Warm the muscles up a bit. This is good for my groin. And then what I'm going to do is grab around the ankles, push my elbows into my knees, and try to flatten my knees to the ground as I bring my chest downwards. So the lower we go with our chest, the lower our knees go. And we're going to do one more. Get set and try to go a little bit lower. Very good. All right, we're going to finish up with just some calf stretches. So what I'm going to do is get into a plank or a push-up position. And I'm going to put one leg straight with my toes on the ground. The other one I'm going to put on top of that leg, and I'm going to kind of use this foot to pull my heel towards the ground, thus stretching my calf. So really pull until you feel the strain in the back of the calf. It should be towards the top. by the knee. Just holding that. You can also do these standing up, which I'll show you on the other side. So what you do for that, you go up to a wall. I'll use this pole here. And I'm just going to put the leg that I want to stretch in the back. I'm going to put my hands here for support, and I'm going to push it back far enough to where when I push my heel towards the ground, I really feel the pull in my calf. So I can do that on the ground or standing up, either way is fine. And good. So that is our stretching routine for the day. Hopefully, like I said, this gives you guys some more ideas that you can incorporate into what you're already doing. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and keep training.